Hello guys, welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Cam. Before we get into the fan cam, just want to give a massive shout out to the new sponsor, Omely. The QR code will be pinned below me. Omely is a new app where you can use AI to create your own character and jump on with other passionate football fans, talk all things football. The more you do it, the more you earn, and the app is free to download. So make sure you check it out, tag us in your stories, and talk all things Chelsea. Right, let's get straight into the cam. Hello, guys. Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. My name is Cam. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. Not quite the result that we were hoping for, but I'm joined in the studio by Scotty, Muss and Benny. Lads, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure.
We've had a good time despite the result. Not so much Benny, even though he's walked off a couple of times. But yeah, we're just going to talk about it now, talk about the analysis. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, I mean, where do we start, boys? We're going to obviously go through the goals and stuff. It was a positive half an hour, wasn't it, at the start? Things looked, real in control with Chelsea. And then obviously the penalty got given away, and that's where things started to go a little bit downhill. Scotty, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I agree. Positive half an hour in the first half. I'm just really disappointed. It sucks because I don't even think we played that badly. It hurts whenever you lose a game, no matter how you lose it.
To lose it like that as well.
Yeah, and especially because we could have maybe got a goal or two in that first half. In that half an hour, we were playing well. And yeah, it's just two lapses of judgment, as we mentioned in the live stream. Two lapses of judgment, one from Gusto, one from Colwell. We conceded a penalty.
Yeah.
From there, we never really got back into the game until the second half. Did really well. Scored early with Jackson. Really good goal, really good run. Nice pass from Caicedo. And then, what was it, 2 minutes later, I think?
I know.
We concede. And
It was a bit of a mad 5 minutes, wasn't it? Because we mentioned during the stream, all four of us were sat here quite comfortable. Things were looking really positive. Many chances on goal for Chelsea, and then within the blink of an eye, we were nearly 3 goals down.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of a blink and you'll miss it kind of moment, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's just that moment of madness where we concede the penalty, then we concede another goal. It was brought back for offside, then concede another penalty that was brought back, and it's like we went from being in control of the game to just almost being blitzed in this, like you said, in the sets of 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. Muss, first time on the stream today.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us in the studio, mate. It was great to have you on. Yeah, what's your sort of thoughts after the first half an hour?
First half an hour, I felt that both teams probably were controlling the game, trying to suss each other out as such. The penalty, I think, came at a very, very crucial time. Well, I think it's obviously gone one long ball, gone out across. As I said, Gusto's obviously committed. He's done well to recover. But then it's obviously ended up out to Salah, who's obviously cut inside. Ended up having a shot which was blocked. A bit of unfortunateness by Colwell to then end up in the vicinity of Curtis Jones, and obviously the penalty is obviously given. Nothing you can take away from the dispatchment of the penalty. I think 1-0 was probably unjustified. The only constructive criticism, I say, on the first half is that Chelsea didn't work Kelleher enough, other than the block that would have ended up falling for Palmer. Palmer's shot that curled just over the bar, which is the closest they came in the first half. And Jackson's, which was pretty much a snapshot, being behind it, he had to try and cut it back across him, which obviously went over the bar. I think Chelsea deserved to have at least scored and took their goal brilliantly. But you're most vulnerable. You just scored and you can't switch off for a moment when it's Liverpool. No. Curtis Jones makes his run into the box. No one was within 5 yards of him. And took his touch brilliantly and finished past Sanchez, who will probably feel disappointed. He could have, as the last line of defence, done much better. But I think 2-1 before balance of play, any Chelsea fan, even if they would have lost the game, would have taken that as such. So that's my general consensus on the game. So it's a step forward against the top 4 team.
Yeah, it was such a high to such a low, wasn't it? I mean, from being so in control for 30 minutes, it was that 5 minutes that sort of, you felt like they switched off completely. Benny, I know you felt that way with Gusto the whole way throughout.
Yeah.
Go on, take it away.
Yeah, I'm in two minds because I'm with Scott in a lot of senses. It is disappointing because you never want to lose. But I think it's how we lost. Whereas, we did it again. We hurt ourselves. I said it a while ago. I'll say it again. we hurt ourselves. Like, why do we keep hurting ourselves? We we try, and again, I know that's how we play, and that's how the modern football is. But there could have been times where it could have been 3-1, could have been even 4-1. Like, we're still trying to play this dangerous game, and okay, it didn't turn out like that. On the positive note, our result last time from Anfield to now, we played the same game that they played.
Yeah.
So there is positives, there is negatives. It's frustrating because when you're watching your team play and you can just see that they actually weren't bad, but was it we didn't have the quality? Was it because of our own mistakes? Now I'm sitting here asking the question, like, what went wrong? I don't feel like Enzo Maresca made a right choice playing Gusto and James in the same team. I don't understand that. I don't think that should have happened. You could see the hole on that side numerous times. Even when Gusto went to right back, you could see the hole. He's just not there at the moment. There's a couple of questions that you sit here and want answers to. It wasn't a bad performance. I'm glad we didn't get battered. I did say 2-2, so 2-1's, I think overall, it's a hard one because we didn't play bad.
No,
but
I thought forced a lot of mistakes early on as well. Especially the first half an hour, I thought the press was great and it really forced Liverpool to make some mistakes that could have led to something. But as Mus said, didn't test the keeper enough. And when you get those chances, you have to test the keeper and you have to put chances away. But yeah, it wasn't quite the day today. But anyway, let's move on. It was good to see Reece James back in the lineup today. Let's talk a little bit about him. Scott, I know you're obviously happy to have him back in the lineup. The 40-50 minutes he was on, I think he got brought off in the 55th minute, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah, him and a couple of others.
Other than the ending, I thought he had a really positive game. I mean, at the end, didn't pick up. I think it was Curtis Jones that scored their goal, wasn't it? Should have picked his man up, but other than that, it was nice to have him back, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I thought he was really good. I think he was probably at fault for the Curtis Jones goal. Not necessarily because it was his man; he just didn't let Tosin know there was someone behind him. But yeah, I thought outside of that he was excellent today. I think you see kind of what a difference he can make in defence, and then not even just defence. I think going forward, those little I'd call them almost as-P crosses. It's like you're not out wide; it's kind of a deeper area, but you're crossing it from deep.
The whip.
I had a few of those that were kind of in dangerous areas that we couldn't really do anything with. But no, it's nice to see him back, and it's nice to see him look back to what we kind of getting towards what we know he can play. I think that's the one benefit we've had from Reece in terms of even though he's had a lot of injuries, every single time he comes back from injury, it doesn't take him. He comes back instantly, seems to have an impact on the game. It's not like it takes him 2, 3, 4 games to get back up and running.
Yeah.
And I thought he was excellent. I think as well. We'll probably touch on him a bit later as well, but Lavia as well, come back from injury. I thought he was excellent. For arguably our best player today. I thought you saw the effects that he had in the game once he came off in our midfield. And yeah, just overall, I think those two guys, considering it's their first game back, it's Anfield and everything. Reece hasn't played a Premier League game in nearly a year.
Yeah.
Before they held their own really well.
Does he start for you next game?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Not even purely because of how he performed. I just gotta go back to Benny's point. I'm sorry, but I don't know what's happened to Gusto from last season to this season.
Today, way off it today.
Not just today. Like he has been tragic for most of the season, and today was the biggest damning indictment of how his season's gone.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, he has had he has had a bit of a decline actually. And today was just another little bit of glimpse of wow, like. I was saying it before half time. He's got to come off. Has to come off. Like I don't know. I don't know what we don't like. We as fans, like we're watching a game, and you're saying it. You're saying it. What does the manager see that we don't?
Mm.
Like, I'd like to answer the question sometimes, like what? Because we're sitting here as fans, whatever. We're not managers, we're not qualified, but we can see it and we can go, really good. Like, we come like you can see what we need to do to fix that spot.
Yeah.
But it never gets done. I just wonder what we don't see that they see. Like,
I think today was a bit different just because two things. Number one is just the subs who we had to bring on because we were behind. And number two, the only sub you've really got is Disassi once Reece came off. Because you had to take Reece off. Reece was never going to play 90.
No.
So today's a bit like I can understand why he didn't come off. But after the performance he had, like he must have got beaten over the top about 6 times in the game today. And like like as I said, as long as Reece is fit to play 90 next game, and even if he's not, you play him 60 and Gusto comes on last 30, whatever, calm. Next game, it has to be Reece and Cucurella.
If you're Gusto and you're going back into that dressing room, you've got to be thinking, I'm a contributing factor to the scoreline.
Oh,
today.
100%.
Yeah, he's got to be disappointed with that performance.
well, in fairness, if that second penalty went ahead, then it's 3-1 in the end, right? And that all came from Gusto, from that middle bit where he's out of position. He's then popped it back in the midfield, and it's gone then straight back down that middle bit, and that's when obviously Sanchez come out and etc.
Yeah.
Now, any other given day, if that's given as a penalty, yeah, it's 3-1. I agree with you. I wasn't impressed by him, and then you go back on this defence thing. I think our whole game forward, been saying it for ages, we are brilliant. Our defence, and we're going to just go back on it again, we need to sort it out, and it has to come quick. And we spent so much money on Buddy Shields, Sassy, Cucurella, even though he's not in today. But it does make a difference without Cucurella today. Makes a difference without Wesley Fofana. And everyone gave stick about Wesley Fofana a few weeks back. Oh, have a look at Wesley. Yeah? Now have a look. Now see why Colwell and Wesley Fofana plays together. Because that is actually our back line. And when them two are in, you can see why Maresca plays them two together. Because Tosin was crap today. Colwell, brilliant. But they're not partners. So, and then you got Gusto, who's a right back, who's playing left back essentially. So,
yeah,
again, like, yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, I know it's frustrating. Look, let's talk about the main man at the moment, Cole Palmer. Wasn't great today. We have to say it. We have to talk about this stuff on air. I mention it every single week. Yeah, just not good enough for me personally at the moment. I'm going to come to Mus for this one because Mus is a neutral in this. Where do you see it from an outsider perspective?
I think, first of all, it is a massive, massive compliment Liverpool have actually kept him quiet.
Yeah.
And I think it tells you the trajectory of where Cole Palmer was when he first came to Chelsea to where he is now. To have 44 goal contributions, like Sky obviously done it before the game, in terms of the graphic, is incredible and he deserves the plaudits. I think where Cole Palmer now needs to try and find his way out of things in terms of being that main person who have 1, 2, 3 players onto him and having to drift that into different areas to get involved in the game. That's obviously going to be down to Cole Palmer to probably try and work his way around that. There were still opportunities with credit given the block from Curtis Jones. Yes, it's an opportunity, but the idea and the trajectory, the quality is still trying to produce in the final third. It just wasn't his day today. It's just
there was another one,
that.
wasn't there, where he tried shifting it onto his left,
Yeah.
left it a little bit too long.
Yeah.
That shot that he took a little bit too long to do on another given day. He's taken
And
that first time.
There was more
to the bottom.
sloppiness from today where he was messing
Parsons off,
Yeah, it's been off for the last week or two, I think.
It just happens. Listen, some of the best players in world football end up having their
course you have
drop-off
your off days, don't you?
periods as such. I just feel that obviously Cole Palmer knows better than anybody else. He will be back at his best very, very soon as such because Chelsea are a dangerous football team when he's on song. And when he's on song,
Yeah,
that's when Chelsea look a completely, as I say, a completely different football team
I'm not.
with
That's,
him up and running.
that's the thing, right? I'm not
playing at
taking.
his best.
I'm not taking too much I am. We're always going to be disappointed of a lot. I'm not taking. I'm more annoyed that you see a team that is playing good, but you don't win or get a result. That's what annoys me more. And then you're going to have people out there, they played, they were terrible. I'd sucked into. But actually, we weren't bad. Like we, if anything, like we were toe to toe with them, really. And that's what disappoints me more. Not the whole fact of, because we got beaten by Liverpool and they're top of the ladder. That it's not a given. They're at the moment. Points show that they're the top of the table. They're the best team in the league. They got the best defense. They that's and it's not like we look. The one thing I will say is we still have you can still see an identity of Chelsea and what we're trying to do. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good thing. Whereas a few times last season we go, what the hell was Poch doing? Why has he done this? And why? At least, even at the last 3-4 minutes, we're still trying to move forward. We're still trying to. We're trying. We're still trying to push that ball forward. We're trying to break through the gaps. And I know risks are risks, and it does hurt you sometimes. But you can see an identity. You know the identity now. The next thing is, and we say it again, is the execution. That's the next part, and the mistakes has got to come out the game.
Yep.
But football's football. It's going to happen. I'm just more happy we didn't get battered, to be fair.
Yeah, let's go into the positives now. If we can take too many. Jackson, nice to see him back on the score sheet. After a bit of a silly start by him, mouthing off to the ref and getting a yellow, which we weren't too happy about in here. He redeemed himself. Great finish. Good to see him back on the score sheet, isn't it?
100%. And I think, what's that, 5 goals this season?
6, you said, I think.
No, I was wrong. I checked. It's 5. A third of the way to what he was at last season?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of those. It was one of those games where I think he was a bit isolated at times. Didn't get too much into the game. When he did, he wasn't great. But I think if he can have these games where he maybe doesn't have his best game but still score, I think that's still a positive anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's still helping the team.
100%. And that's what. And sorry to cut you off, Scott, but that's what good top strikers do.
Yeah,
and he's not there yet, but you're isolated for the whole game. But you get that goal.
That's what Haaland does every week. There's games
there
like he is awful.
Yeah,
he is truly terrible, and he'll score, and he'll be like, okay, cool. Like, he's just won his team a game. But yeah, I thought him getting the goal was good. I think Noni kind of showed a bit more. I think he took him a little while, but he started getting at Robertson. I thought he helped quite a lot in attack. And I thought he gave a good account of himself, especially defensively as well. I think
he beat him a couple of times.
He did, and I think
actually, which is not easy to do.
I think as well it gets spoken about in terms of his defensive work. It gets spoken about a lot, but it still feels like something that needs to be discussed. Like you saw when he came off and Neto went over to the right, we lost that. Like it looked like Gusto was isolated a lot more, and he was still terrible anyway. But it then compounded by the fact I don't think Neto helped him as much. But yeah, I thought those two were really good. I thought Sancho was good in moments, but just wasn't taking Trent on enough. And then I thought Caicedo was good up until Lavia came off, and that made me. I just have to go back to Lavia. For me, this game solidifies.
Us, I reckon.
I say this game solidifies. If he's fit, he starts. That's the partnership.
Yeah,
that's the partnership going forward.
I like brilliant.
I like Enzo.
Fantastic.
But I'm sorry, like the things that Lavia does in the game that helps us. His little ability to turn on a half turn when he gets the ball.
The little fakey.
He'll do that and get past 2 players. It opens up then space for everyone else. Caicedo can't do that, and Enzo can but doesn't.
It was up in within. I think we saw it within the first 2-3 minutes, didn't
and
we?
He kept doing it, and
a little fakey.
His ability then to
instantly. I just opened it all.
And then his ability, he'll constantly wants to look forward and pass all the time. Wants to look forward. Where can I pass to going forward? Where can I open up space? He's willing to pick the ball up from almost anywhere on a pitch, which is super helpful in the way we play football.
Definitely.
And yeah, I thought he was brilliant today. And as I said, if it wasn't for the fact of he's just come back from injury and once he gets fit, he needs to be starting. Him and Caicedo was the partnership going forward.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think it was a brave move for Maresca not to put him in. Enzo in with Caicedo today. but I think there's enough evidence to show Enzo and Caicedo don't work. I think Lavia and
It's been an ongoing discussion for a number of weeks.
Yeah,
isn't
and
it?
I believe I agree with Scott. I think it's Lavia and Caicedo for me.
I think the nail in the coffin for me today on this, because I still think they can work. It's just dependent very much on the situation of the team.
Probably
but
the team as well. Yeah,
the biggest nail in the coffin is you saw the moment Lavia went off, Liverpool got more joy in that midfield. Gravenberch, Jones, Szoboszlai almost got more joy. Enzo, the less I speak on him today, the better. Just don't even want to address him. Caicedo, you saw as well. He started to dally on the ball more.
Like he's not confident
decision making started to go.
When Lavia's not on the field. It looks like he's a bit weird on it. But when Lavia's, I don't know what that is about. But whether it's because maybe Caicedo knows that Lavia's got that speed and runs, and Enzo doesn't have that pace. Psychologically, I don't know what it was. But
you saw just a switch, and all of a sudden, Caicedo was losing the ball more, getting put under pressure more. And yeah, like as I said, that just was the final nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah. Back to the positive, lads. In terms of Maresca's subs, I know we sort of talk about it most weeks. Do you think he got them right today? I think it was Vega, Badiashile, Neto, Enzo, and then Kunku that come on. Wasn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. I know you mentioned about Badiashile. For someone that had such a poor start to the season, for me personally, pre-season was absolutely terrible, and at some parts, especially against Real Madrid, a disgrace in the shirt. To see him sort of forming his way into the team despite the loss, it's good to see, right?
Yeah, very, very much so. I felt that him and Pedro Neto done well when they came on. Not easy, bearing in mind, I think Pedro Neto came on at half-time to obviously go like for like with Jadon Sancho. But Badiashile, I have to say, those two were probably honourable mentions in terms of the best impacts off the bench. Fernandes obviously coming on in the 53rd minute along with Renato Vega. Obviously, like for like, they had to try and move Gusto to then go to right back, and then Vega cover his position at left back, and then Fernandes alongside Caicedo just in that double pivot. And Kunku, I probably felt at latest that was as late he probably could have brought him on in the 70th minute. Maybe he could have had another 5-10 minutes extra if he'd have brought him on in the 65th minute, maybe, because that difference in minutes could be where a chance might fall for him when he might create something as such. But Maresca's done the changes he had to do.
It was unfortunate, wasn't it? Because I think the three that come on was literally about a minute after the goal went.
Yeah,
pretty much, yeah.
Straight after.
Pretty much. Was it
Which
2
is
minutes
hard
after
to-
this?
It's
it's
hard
hard
to
to
predict that,
comprehend
though,
when-
isn't it? When
Back in the game.
There's too much going on
know.
for them to be able to come on and go, okay, what can I do to change this game? Because
Yeah.
once that goal goes in, you go, oh, you got Liverpool fans screaming, Chelsea fans are probably going cuckoo. You got Maresca on the bench, not like there's just probably so much going on, and I guess in that sense as well, there's not a lot of time to comprehend.
yeah,
And then
you'll stand on the touchline and you've just been told, right, the game's 1-1, we're going to do this, this. And then for you to be ready to go on, your studs have been checked, and then to be 2-1 down, you must be going,
And I think that
What am I
also
gonna- what am I
influenced
gonna
one
do
of the
here?
subs, because I don't think maybe Tosin doesn't come off and Badiashile comes on if we don't
correct,
concede.
correct,
So then you got that extra sub. Maybe Felix comes on instead. Later on in the
correct.
game,
Yeah, there's
and
a lot of things that
Because I felt that game
Yeah.
was needing, I think, another added attacking bit of quality to probably see if they can make an impact in someone like João Felix. But look, in the space of 2 minutes, a game gets turned on its head from you going back level, and then at your most vulnerable and you just score, which is probably disappointing in that sense that they were that fragile after they just went back level, which I think in the game's perspective is what they deserved at the very least. So that's my way of answering that question.
yeah. But yeah, lads, let's look ahead. Panathinaikos, obviously, on Thursday, has to be the win out there, doesn't it?
Yep.
Nothing less than that.
Oh, I think we win.
Yeah, I'm fairly confident. That competition has to be sealed off. Definitely with the squad we've got, and then after that, come back Newcastle, I think, on the Sunday.
Yes.
United and Arsenal after as well. I know we spoke about it during the stream. Has to be a minimum 6 points, doesn't it? We're not too sure about the Arsenal game. Obviously, it's a tough
I'm going to
one.
be there.
You going?
Yeah, I'll be at the Arsenal game. So yeah, I Newcastle. I'm not going to lie. I've got confidence. I mean, everyone said we weren't going to beat him in the cup and things like that. I think we'd be all right. Man United, yeah, I think we've got more than enough quality to beat them. It's the Arsenal game that it's sort of another Liverpool game where you don't want to you don't want to get battered. Let's go in, compete, do what we did today, show that we can compete, and then we move forward.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to Arsenal again, play them, and get battered. Like, well, I was at that game 5-0 when we got battered. Wow. You don't want that to happen. And that's when you're going to know how far we've come. I think we're still in a good spot. I mean, we've picked up the points where we need to pick up.
Yeah.
It is going to be a little bit of a tough run, but we did it last season, and I think we're in a better position now than we were last season, and we picked up points last season against the top teams. So I think we'll be all right.
That's it. Any final things to say, lads?
No, I agree with Benny. I think the Newcastle have been playing poor. I have no worries there. United the same. Like they are games we should win, even with the stuff today. And I think even despite how disappointed I personally sound, I know Benny feels, and we will probably feel, like you said, there are some positives to take out of the game and to take forward. And yeah, I think it's just kind of to focus on those, try and drill those in a bit more, get the mistakes out of out of the team, and kind of just go forward really. Yeah, beat Panathinaikos away. I think we can do that, and then just go into that Newcastle game. I think we're at home.
We're at home.
We're at home.
Yeah, we're at home.
Yeah, as we said before, we need to make our home games the ones we win. You know, you can go away and have a performance from time to time that isn't as good, but at home games you need to make that a fortress.
I think we beat Newcastle. I think going forward, and we say it all the time, I think going forward we got too much for them. I think we'll be fine. But yeah.
Okay, so that probably leaves me to probably say the last words. How do I summarise this? Well, for me, it is a step forward for Chelsea, without any shadow of a doubt. Where they can obviously take this is look ahead to Panathinaikos. I'd love to see a few of the youngsters get out there in Greece and get involved, because I think there are some very,
and what
very
a place for him to
talented
play as well. I'm going to be there, but it's the fans out there are unbelievable. So if they can get minutes out there, it's going to be
without any
huge for them.
as I said, your Acherongs, your Dyers. I was impressed with Alex Matos when I saw him against Fulham's under 23s quite recently. Tyree George, I'd love to see a couple of those get appearances off the bench or get some minutes as such, because I think they fully deserve. And the contracts recently with Acheron reflects that, how well Chelsea obviously rate them as of such. So
although it's not a high up European competition, it's good though, isn't it? Because it does give the young players a chance to get involved. It's not like, we'll give the young lads a chance in the Champions League. That's never going to happen. But Europa Conference really gives that opportunity to sort of filter young players in, and the young players to have an experience in Europe is huge, absolutely huge.
And especially with it being at Panathinaikos, which is obviously going to be a very, very high octane atmosphere, obviously with the unfortunate sad passing with George Baldock, and deepest condolences with everyone at Chelsea Fan TV to his family. As such, also quick mention, I know a very, very tall, very articulate geezer that was unfortunately lost their baby boy, Matt Smith. Deepest condolences with you and the whole of the Brucey family.
Matt, bro.
Lovely lad. I've had the pleasure of coming across him, as I thought I'd mention that. Also, the same thing with everyone at Chelsea Fan TV. Deepest condolences with you.
Definitely.
And to end on a positive note, thank you for the invite.
Oh, mate, it's been a pleasure. I'm sure you guys will see Mus a lot more on here. Obviously, Scotty and Benny, the regulars, but Mus has been brilliant today. So
we're going to force him now. So
well, I'll try and come as much as possible, really, as such. But
no, just from my side, boys. Obviously, it's a Sunday night. You know, these lads travel every week, and they come here to sort of take hours out of their Sunday, not just an hour or two. You know, it's 6 or 7 hours out of their day. So I really appreciate it. But from us guys, it's a massive thank you. Obviously 2-1, not the result we wanted. But if you haven't checked out Omley already, use that code below. My name's Cam, W63 on there. You can jump on. The more you do it, the more you earn. So yeah, it's great. But from us, that's it. And up the Chelsea.